thinking whether doing the sort of thing I just spent 2 weeks doing was a better use of the gifts God had given me than spending all my time telling 14-year-olds that Hitler didn't have blonde hair and blue eyes and that First World War soldiers didn't spend all their time in a trench. After all, I had spent 3 years saying I would do anything, but under no circumstances would I ever be a teacher. 7 years later, I was. Over the next couple of years, after I'd forgotten about that and got on with my holiday, over the next couple of years, I had a growing sense, though, that I wasn't going to spend the rest of my life in a classroom. That no matter how hard I tried to get it into my head, this idea of full-time Christian ministry kept coming back to me again and again and again. And in 2010, Don and I were on beach mission again in Whitby, and we got friendly with the pastor of the new pastor of the Congregational Church, Mark, and his wife Barbara. Barbara's here today, you can meet her if you want, and if you meet her, you realise she calls a spade a shovel. And she told Don in no uncertain terms one day while they were having dinner that I definitely should be in some form of Christian ministry. And so when Don told me that later in the day, I groaned and I rolled my eyes. I said, okay, we'll think about this, we'll give some serious consideration to it, but only as a youth worker or an evangelist or something. I said, under no circumstances ever will I be a pastor. Since then, I've kind of watched what I said a bit. Because over the next months we prayed and we talked to people we respected. We even went on a conference. And as time went on, we gradually came to this awareness that this was something God was calling us to do. And perhaps the role that I so desperately wanted to avoid was exactly where God wanted me. And so many people encouraged us and helped us through that whole process. We're so grateful to all of you, so many of you here today. And then when the opportunity came to do an apprenticeship at Hope, everything seemed to fit. We jumped at the chance to come back to Huddersfield to be involved in ministry. And the last 2 years have been hard, they've been stretching, they've been exciting, they've been joyful times of growth for all three of us. And really over that time I've been working across three areas. So ministry experience, so whether that's preaching, whether that's working with people one-to-one, spending time with all our great students, and even sometimes with not so great ones, and doing some theological training. I'm still doing the Christian ministry training course, which takes me about a day a week. And then the third area has really been that humility training, doing all the things that nobody else wants to do, the admin, etc. And through that time, there have been years in which God's confirmed to us again and again and again, through circumstances, through different people talking to us, that this is the calling He is calling us to. People have helped us think through that. People have encouraged it. And actually experiencing full-time ministry has shown us that this appears to be really where my gifting lies. And during those 2 years, Hope's been a family to us. And we're so grateful for all of you. Huddersfield's such a dark town. Such a dark place in so many ways. We feel there's so much good work that we can do here. And as we look to the future, I'm assistant pastor for 2 years. After that, who knows? Wouldn't it be great if we could plant a church somewhere around Huddersfield? But while that's our hope, we look to God for His leaders. And so for now, I just thank God for the great privilege I have of every day serving Him by serving all of you. That's me.
Thank you very much.